welcome to Interludes with Chris Mackenzie. And I've had a return visit from Anne Phelan. She's got lots and lots more things to talk about. We've got to extract all the goodies from her. Otherwise, she's going to have to come back again. It's just going to have to go on happening until the well is dry. Welcome back.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Okay, charge off. You said you could start from the last sentence there.
Okay. I think we were sort of talking about...
Well, you'd been on tour.
Well, being out of work and being on
in
tour,
Centrelink.
yeah, and being at Centrelink and all of that. How most Australian actors are out of work. I mean, 90% of us are out of work at any given time. So the perception that we're all rolling in money and working all the time is a very false one, and a hard one to cope with.
Isn't it sad? Because, in fact, given slightly different circumstances or very different circumstances, would more be in work? Could you have a bigger area, bigger number than that?
Well, if our drama quota on television was higher, I mean, we have I think something like over 70% of our television is sourced from overseas, and that's a big problem. I personally, and this is strictly a personal.
I won't tell anybody.
No, I think we have one too many commercial television stations in this country. And I'm not saying that Channel O or Channel 10 as it is now shouldn't have got their licence. I'm not saying that they're better or worse than anyone else. But when you look at Great Britain has 2 commercial television stations.
And the numbers...
For the population that they have, and we have 3. Now, that means that the advertising dollar is spread very, very thinly. And advertising is what makes shows.
Yep.
So the less you have, the less that's going to be made. I fear for our industry if culture is included in the free trade agreement, because we can kiss our industry goodbye.
Really?
I think so, yes. Why would a television station make an Australian show for X amount of dollars when they can buy an American show for... not less than half, because what happens is people often ask, why are American television shows cheaper? The reason is they have an enormous population in America. By the time a television show in America has gone free to air on their television stations, it is paid for. So they can sell then to other countries. It doesn't matter. They can sell so cheaply. And what they tend to do is sell packages, so that you have to take 6 bad ones with 4 good ones. If you want that top rating, Emmy Award-winning series, okay, you can have that, and you can have that and that one, but you have to take these 7 as well. And they're usually
dreadful
stuff that we sit there and watch. So, I mean, it's a vast, complex problem, and we have a huge amount of talent, as is being proved. I mean, our crews are some of the best in the world, our film crews, and that's why the Americans love shooting. I'm also one of those people that's not terribly happy about our studios, these big Fox studios and that are built here, because they don't help our industry. All they do is make it very cheap for the Americans to make movies here, and that's not good for us. So the free trade agreement is a big one for our industry, and we just want culture taken off the table. There is no room for this and that. The whole lot has to come off the table. Otherwise, we will lose our own storytelling. Australian stories will not be told.
That would be a total disaster.
A total disaster.
I don't think anyone could possibly disagree with that.
No. But I don't think people realise how serious it is.
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, it is very, very serious. And if we want our own stories told, if we want our own culture and those stories told, we have to...
fight for it.
We have to come off the table. We cannot be in a bargaining thing.
Now, we wanted to talk about refugees, because we've got a bit of music you want to play.
Yeah, I'm actually a member of a group called Actors for Refugees.
Yeah.
And what we do is we use our voices to tell the stories of the refugees. A lot of them are stories from the detention centres. Some of the stories of people who are out in temporary visas. And the story behind this song, it's Eric Bogle, who I'm another great fan of. And he's a token Australian. Well, I think he's an Australian. He was born in Scotland, but he's lived here for a million years.
We'll pass.
We'll let him. We'll let him in.
Yeah.
And I was addressing a refugee rally 18 months ago, and I wanted to use one of his songs called "Goodbye Lucky Country." And so I asked him if I could use this particular song, and he said, "Well, I've just written a new one, and there's a new CD out, which is called Colour of Dreams," which, by the way, I'll give him a plug. It's out there at the moment. Mm-hmm. He said, "I've actually written a song about refugees in particular." And he sent it to me, and I listened to it, and he also sent me the words. And I rang him back, and I said, "Look, I'd love to do this as a poem." And he said, "Oh, do you think?" And I went, "I'm sure, I know it will work." And I did it as a poem, and it's called Ibrahim, and that's the one I've picked today. It's
terrific.
It's very much one I would advise people just to down tools and listen to the words.
Listen carefully.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey Ibrahim, tell me, what do you think of Australia? Do our beautiful desert sunsets fill you with wonder? As the sky catches fire and the trees and the mountains change color. But I guess the view from this side of the barbed wire's much better. So Ibrahim, can you tell me, why did you come here? What dream were you chasing, and what did you hope to find here? Did you flee from your own native land because your life was in danger? Or were the reasons much more mundane, just poverty and hunger? Wrong path, wrong choice, wrong creed, wrong culture. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong dream and wrong color. You see, Ibrahim, there's something I've been meaning to tell you. Being hungry and poor bestows no special status upon you. We won't send you back if you can prove that imprison or kill you. But if you're just going back home to starve, I'm afraid we can't help you. You see, Ibrahim, you become a bit of a problem. This world's full of refugees fleeing poverty, war and depression. So to take in cute jumpers like you, well, it's out of the question. It would give the world's hungry and poor the wrong impression. Wrong path, wrong choice, wrong creed, wrong culture. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong dream and wrong color. I'm afraid, Ibrahim, it's time to be totally candid. You had Buckley's chance right from the moment you landed. Already too many a threat and a danger you were branded. And all because you follow the Prophet Mohammed. You didn't count, Ibrahim, on political opportunism. Our leaders knew that to many Australians the very word Muslim meant Al-Qaeda, Hamas, the Taliban and terrorism. And that's why you and your family are locked up in prison. Wrong path, wrong choice, wrong creed, wrong culture, wrong place, wrong time, wrong dream and wrong colour. So Ibrahim, tell me, what do you think of Australia? Do our beautiful desert sunsets fill you with wonder? As the sky catches fire and the trees and the mountains change color. But I guess the view from the side of the barbed wire's much better. Yes, I guess the view from the side of the barbed wire's much better.
Well, Eric Bogle and Ibrahim.
Yeah, sort of...
Good words.
They are amazing words, and they do work as a poem, and I think a lot more Australians have to sort of ask ourselves, have we buried our heads in the sand too long? What Actors for Refugees do is we go around, we have a couple of shows. Mm-hmm. One is called Something to Declare, which was put together by Michael Hehr. Mm-hmm. And we volunteer our time and we go around, and we've done some amazing gigs all around Victoria. A lot of schools are booking us now.
Oh, how
So
lovely.
if anyone's interested, I think it's www.actorsforrefugees.org. Actors for Refugees, one word. And you'll find out all about us, and all we ask is expenses, petrol money and whatever. If we have to go to the country, we get billeted out for the night. We meet wonderful people.
I'm sure you
We
do.
get to stay on people's farms.
Oh, lovely.
It's fantastic, yeah. And that's sort of, to me, the work I do with the refugee stuff, and I want to talk about work with HIV/AIDS. I do that because, to me, fame or being well known or having a high profile is really silly. I'm not an actor or an actress for that reason. I'm an actress because I want to act and I want to perform. I'm not an actress because I want to be famous.
Yep.
So to me, the only way I can justify that profile is to then put it to a bit of good use.
Great.
And if it means getting someone's cause before a journalist who might not have got it in the paper otherwise. For instance, I'm going to plug now an event for World AIDS Day.
Good.
Okay.
Which is?
Now, World AIDS Day is actually the 1st of December, but because that this year falls on a Monday,
Yeah.
I'm patron of a group called Positive Women.
Yes.
And Positive Women is a support and advocacy group for women living with HIV. Mm-hmm. And we, every World AIDS Day, or the Sunday closest to, in this case the 30th, Sunday the 30th of November, we have some sort of wonderful event. And what's been happening more and more is the use of drama and the use of actors to get the message across.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And because often it's the people, like it works with Actors for Refugees, it's the people whose their own words are so much more powerful. It's like the show Mavis Goes to Timor that I recently did. The fact that that was a true story added that extra dimension to it. And what we're doing this year is at O'Donnell Gardens in St Kilda at 11 a.m. on Sunday the 30th of November. And O'Donnell Gardens is right next to Luna Park. Graham Pitts...
Can't miss it.
No, can't miss it. Graham Pitts, who's a Victorian-based playwright, has been talking to a lot of our positive women and getting their stories, and he's devised a piece that means 4 actresses, and those 4 will be myself, Janet Andrew Arthur, who's currently on Neighbours and about to star in a Melbourne Theatre Company show, Deborah Byrne, the singer, but she's being an actress on this day, and a young, wonderful actress called Jacinta Stapleton, who's currently on Stingers, plays the younger cop in Stingers. And the 4 of us, along with Kavisha Marcella, a singer, and Jane Bailey, who wrote a song that I've picked today, another singer, and we're going to be telling the stories. We're going to be telling these stories. And
how wonderful.
So it's using actors to get a message out. And so please, if anyone and there's a sausage sizzle. The City of Port Phillip are right behind us, and the City of Port Phillip Lions Club are putting on the sausage sizzle, and we're going halves in the price.
They do a very good sausage sizzle.
They do a great sausage sizzle. And then, of course, being Sunday, people can spend the rest of the afternoon in St Kilda. They can go to the markets. They can do whatever they want. But
is Luna Park open still?
Oh
Yet
yes,
again,
oh
already?
yes, very
Good.
much.
Oh,
It's
there
all
you
been renovated and
Give a whirl on the Big Dipper.
They can do all that. So 11 o'clock, O'Donnell Gardens, Sunday the 30th of November for World AIDS Day for what we call it. We take a positive step.
Wonderful.
Positive steps for positive women, we call it.
I think it sounds.
And this
sounds
song
really
is
good.
written by Jane Bailey. It was written especially for positive women.
It's called Alive After All.
My pillow's full of thunder. I'm trying to keep warm. I refuse to go under. They say nothing settles during a storm. Throw the windows open. It's getting hard to breathe. I'm still hoping that there's a language we can both speak. Shake my hand. It's stronger than you think. Shake my hand. I'm alive after all. Imagine leaving. I go weak, but I know what I believe in. There must be a language we can all speak. Shake my hand, it's warmer than you think. Shake my hand, I'm alive after I wonder what you see when you look at me. I wonder what you see when you look at me. Perhaps we can surprise each Shake my hand, it's stronger than you think. Shake my hand, I'm alive after all. I wonder what you see when you look at me. I wonder what you see when you look at me. Surprise each other. I wonder what you see when you look at me. Perhaps we can surprise each other. I wonder what you see when you look at me. Perhaps we can surprise each other.
And that was the a cappella group called Crying in Public Places. What an extraordinary,
It's a
absolutely
great title, isn't
wonderful
it?
name,
Yeah.
isn't it?
The first year of our World AIDS Day events for positive women, they sang on the steps of Parliament House, because the last 2 years we've had it at Parliament House steps. And they're just fantastic. And Jane Bailey from the group wrote that song and has also written another one for positive women, which she'll be performing this year.
Oh, right.
So
Okay.
it's a great event, and because I think the biggest problem is with we all know how difficult it is to talk about HIV/AIDS. It's not talked about enough.
Yep.
It's the hardest charity to raise money for. It's on the bottom of the list when it comes to money raising. And it's doubly hard for women living with HIV. They
Yep.
have a lot more problems because most people consider them to be either sex workers or intravenous drug users, where in actual fact 75% of women in Australia who are HIV positive have contracted the virus through a long-term male partner, and that is often their husbands. So this myth of it being brought on by yourself and your bad habits is just that, a myth. And that's what we try to get across, that it is... and we had a member, a dear friend, Sonia Ristoff, who died about 3 weeks ago. Now, Sonia had lived with HIV for about nearly 15 years.
Really?
But what we have to remember was she died of AIDS. There is no cure.
Yeah.
And I feel very worried about the young people out there who are not practicing safe sex.
It would be very nice if they were more worried, wouldn't it?
Well, that's the thing. It's an old people's disease. It's something that old gay men get, or it's something that drug users get or prostitutes get, and that's a lot of who as we know worldwide, of course.
Yeah.
Over 50% of women in the over 50% of cases of HIV are women worldwide. But as I said, in Australia, 75% have contracted it through a male partner.
Okay, so if anybody is interested and would like to be involved, it's the November the 30th at O'Donnell Gardens at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Unfortunately, the Florida syndrome, as it's been called, there is HIV popping up in retirement villages now. So it's not just a young person's disease.
Well, there's that and more.
Lots more I can talk about.
Okay,
yeah.
well, we look forward to seeing you back here again, Anne Phelan. Wonderful
Thanks,
to have
Chris.
you in studio with you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
You have been listening to Interludes with Chris Mackenzie.